Good day, friends. Welcome to another Word of Gord. Today, late January, well, I guess the 23rd, but don't quote me. We're going to hook up with the spirit of David Crosby, who passed, I don't know, a week, 10 days ago. And I felt that there would be a connection at some point when he was ready. I'd felt a connection in the last few months of his physical life, that he was, cruising towards transition, and I had been interacting with him a little bit at night. One doesn't always remember the details of such interactions, but I was pretty sure that I had been. So give me a moment or two and I will focus. Hello, David. How are you? I am exceedingly well. And thank you for asking. And thank you for taking the time to speak with me. David, it's an honor. Your music and your strong points of view and opinions have meant a lot to me over the years. I have enjoyed your feistiness, your outspokenness, your, obviously, amazing lyrical abilities with melody and harmony. Well, none of that would have been much good without the other voices around me. Roger and Chris, Stephen and Graham. The inspirations of Joni, and let's not forget Mama Cass. I was greatly blessed by musical and creative companions along the way. Oh, doubtless, David. We've all been appreciating on Facebook and YouTube some of the great videos taken throughout the years of all the various lineups that you were in and solo. And let's not forget, and I'm sure you're not, your most recent bands, either with or without the drummer. The Lighthouse Band seemed to be more focused on harmony and vocals, and exquisitely good harmonies, I must say. And the other band with Steve the drummer and Jeff the guitarist, more of a kind of a rocking out band. I loved them both. As did I. My renaissance was enabled. Well, David, yes, it was enabled by those great players and that great balance of male and female energies in the band, which I suspect was no accident. No, you're right. I wanted that female energy, that female creative energy, that Oh, Gordon, you're willing to call it the divine feminine, aren't you? I've picked that up from you over the last few months. Yes, David, it's for sure, no question. You recognized the lack, the overwhelming testosterone of CSNY. Not that that was very much of a limiting factor, but you knew it was time to move on. Yes, many transitions, many talents, much squabbling, and, you know, David, I do feel that that's been made too much of. I don't know if you guys fought any more than any other famous band. You were just more, I think you were just more honest about it. That level of creativity arises out of conflict as much as harmony, in my opinion. Yes, it did, and it was. And it's not the first time, but I want to again give thanks to all those creative collaborators that put up with my crankiness and my perfectionism over the decades. Not much could have been accomplished without their, you know, contribution. And from where I am now, let me bid a fond farewell, or maybe see you later. I'm looking forward to meeting up with some of them in the not too distant future, if they'll speak to me. Well, David, I don't know if you've had any time to interact with some of the, well, let's say, Bay Area musicians that passed before you. I know I have in my activities as an out of body traveler and channeler. Yes, I have a little bit. People have come by to say hello and welcome, and great to see you again, Paul Cantner, Jerry Garcia, to name but two. And David, I'm sure there's lots of other friends and compatriots that passed many years ago that are maybe not famous in the world of music, who would be very glad to see you. Well, some are, just kind of doing their duty, the welcoming committee. I don't know if they'll be around much longer. So, David, how do you feel about the afterlife? Amazing, marvelous, transcendently beautiful. Everything that I was kind of afraid that it would be. I see, afraid. Well, you wanted to believe that it was possible, that it was there, that it had to be there. Its absence would have rendered existence kind of stupid and meaningless. Did you not dream of some of your friends and loved ones that had passed on? Oh, yes, I did. Many occasions. Many occasions where I was, made happier by the thought that they could be more than a dream, more than a wish fulfillment. Have you been tempted into any musical activity, David? Oh, a little bit of jamming, a little bit of singing. Can't really do without it. And why would I want to anyway? David, I'm thinking a fairly obscure item you sang with some guys from the Dead way back in the early 70s. Are there enough of them there that you could repeat that now? Oh, yes. Oh, indeed, yes. I had a couple of invites already. Jerry's got a regular band that he hangs out with in a variety of venues, as does some of the airplane guys. Paul, Marty, they've got some stuff ongoing. I was invited to sit in. Lovely. Lovely, David, lovely. People will be so glad to hear that. Felt inspired to write any songs? Oh, yes. Yep, some chords shifting around, some melodies drifting by me. Do you have a place to hang your hat? A place to park yourself when not socially active? Yeah, I do. Family. Got to get things in the right order, you know. Family's family. You spoke on a couple of occasions, David, of the wonderful things that your mother said to you just before her passing. I think I found it on a box set of CSN. Yep, I never did forget what she said, and I wished for it myself in my last few weeks. David, you may not have been there long enough to realize, but let me just kind of throw this in. You realize you can see anybody that you want. All you have to do is think of them carefully and focusedly, and you will be there. This is what I have been told. And I look forward to activating that particular adventure, shall we say. You know, all the political types that you may have condemned to some kind of hellish non-existence, they're all there too. Yeah, that's what I'd heard. And maybe not that keen, but you know, you said to me before, when you came to visit before I passed, you'd seen RFK and JFK. I'd like to see them. Yeah, they're around. I haven't seen them in ages, but they're around, as are all sorts of other people. I haven't seen Coltrane recently, but I'll bet you he's around. Just as a quick example, you know, first name that pops into my head. I know you had some Coltrane loves in your early life. Haha, yes, I did. Man, was that an encounter. So, David, I know you must have some kind of message for your fans and living colleagues and loved ones. Well, for the fans, thank you and thank you and thank you. Gratefulness overflows my being when I think of the many years in which the love of fans sustained me when I was at, let's say, a low ebb. And also in later years when my compatriots wouldn't speak to me, fans still wanted to. And for that I was very grateful. I realized the brotherhood of music extends way beyond the people that you're playing with. David, another thing I might mention, maybe Cantner, Alan, Jerry Garcia may have told you all this already. There's no financial limit to any kind of artistic production there. There's nobody saying to you, oh, well, we can't afford that. Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping for. Well, I'm telling you, David, you can do anything there. Put on any kind of show, any multimedia thing that you fancy. Yeah, Kantner's been telling me that. So, have fun. Really, have lots of fun. I know you will. How do you feel about that line that you used to sing to so many thousands of fans? We have all been here before. We have all been here before. Well, it seems even a stronger possibility than it did then. I'm pretty sure we come back. I'm pretty sure I did come back. And as David, well, that was a comeback. And, as troubadours in centuries gone by, we were the news bringers. We were the opinion makers. We were the entertainers. Great, David. I'm glad you see that. I felt that when you sang that, when CSN sang that song and made it so popular. Way back then. Way back before people were talking about it a lot. I also felt it looking at the cover of Deja Vu. I thought to myself, those guys are acting out a past life right there in that photograph. And then when you wrote that song Cowboy Movie, where you said a present day sort of dramatic interaction in terms of 19th century cowboys. Oh yes, I felt it strongly then. Well, you could be right. And I sure suspect that you are. Well, David, I don't want to rush you. I mean, the joys of the afterlife are almost endless at this point. There is nothing that you can't do. And even bringing some of that joy to your loved ones on earth, that you can do, and I'm sure you have been already. Yeah, I've been trying. Can't always get through as much as you would like, but I'm not going to give up just because it wasn't a huge success the first couple of times. Your wife and son, I'm sure, have felt you. Sorry, sons. And but maybe are in doubts of the reality of the experience. Well, please let them know it was real. I was there, I was with them, I loved them, I interacted, and will do again and again. That bond of love is unbreakable. They sustained me throughout many years, and I hope to return that favor in the years to come until one by one they come and join me here. David, you seem more calm than excited. Yes, for me, it's a kind of a serenity that comes from relief that it is as I hoped it would be. And, you know, the anxieties that I might be somehow wrong, that there wouldn't be an afterlife, that it was all a, fantasy bred by fear of the unknown. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that, David. And not that it would matter to me if you were excited. I've talked to quite a few people, spirits recently transitioned over the years that were quite excited. Oh, who? Well, Dennis Hopper was this high energy rocket when I spoke to him. And David Bowie, he was pretty high energy too. In fact, high energy that he seemed to like transcend the whole notion of form. He was barely David Bowie at all. Kind of like this, how can I put it, star being. Although he did sort of come down from that a little bit later. But yeah, not everyone's as serene as you are. That's interesting. And I wish you well with it. Well, thank you. And much as I was sad to leave my family and loved ones, I wasn't sad to leave that troubled planet, that messed up society. It's a pleasure to escape those bonds. Yes, David, it's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? There's those that you love deeply, and there's those that you just as soon not see again. And you have to sort of, balance the two in some way, find a balance within yourself. So, you're finding that balance. Well, not really, but I do feel kind of calm about it all. And again, I want to thank you for providing this opportunity. My pleasure, David. My pleasure entirely. I had the feeling for many months that we would be talking like this and that you would be happy to participate. And I'm sure the fans that get to see this will be, pleased, relieved, happy on your behalf, thrilled that you're already thinking about doing music with some old friends. It certainly has been apparent since you passed, David, the love people have for you. I've seen it expressed in many different places, whether by professionals that would have been your colleagues, or fans. Much love. It's very gratifying, and I do feel those waves of love, and it can be quite strong sometimes. It had to be explained to me what it was. I thought I was feeling a little ill, but I was told I was a newbie, and there was things I had to get used to, as well as fun stuff I had to try out. And the waves of love coming from Earth when you're have been, a creative musician and entertainer and provocateur for as long as I have. Yeah. Yes, David. You'll get used to it. It's just something you have to learn to do, like riding a bike. You'll do it. So, any final messages before we break off, David? Well, again, so many thanks to all those who supported me in not just the last few months, but the last few years. Of course, my family and good friends that always stood by me in difficult times. And blessings to all those many fans who keep sending me love. It's wonderful to feel, and I thank you for it. I feel, see me bowing, see me putting my hand on my heart. And David, maybe we'll talk again in a few months when you're no longer a newbie. Oh, that would be fun. Righty-ho then. With all my gratefulness too. And what are you saying, David? Oh, yes, yes, I do provide a bit of a service, and I'm quite happy to do it. And I only wish more people would see these videos. A couple of hundred, but maybe they pass it along to their friends. And certainly, David, I'm not the only person who does channeling and puts it on YouTube. Other people do it as well. I'm not sure how interested they are in the rock generation, but there's bound to be somebody. And I encourage you to have your guides seek them out and communicate with them too. I have my audience, but it's not that big. Okay then. Thank you very much. May your afterlife be wonderful. Thank you.